Now we are on the application pillar. As we go into the last 4 pillars, you're going to notice the level of responsibility going up. This is going to get a little bit more intense, a little bit more detailed. Now you are actually applying the leadership. In the last pillar, I said it's not about what you know, it's about what you own and internalize. We're taking what you're owning and internalizing and applying it to your life and applying it to your process. As you've gone through the first 4 pillars, it's like being handed a tool or a weapon. As you begin to evolve and grow in your leadership and you truly ascend, you have more responsibility to better manage the shadow side of yourself. So this is managing your dark feelings and emotions. They're going to be there. Sadness, anger, frustration, insecurity, doubt, anxiety. Those are all very natural feelings. When you properly apply them, you can actually use them with power and grace and ease and still use them to serve greatly, because there are times to turn on your strength. You're like the fierce power and bring a touch of anger or behind what you're saying and doing, and it makes a certain impact. We often refer to that as tough love. And so when you bring it in on purpose, as opposed to using it like a weapon or against somebody, because we all know the phrase hurt people, that is a shadow application of your power. And so instead of unconsciously operating out in the world and hurting people because you're hurting, or wanting people to be sad like you're sad, using those feelings to transmutation. So what that is to take an energy, shift it into love and light, and then use it just as powerfully. So we're going to talk about the shadow to light shift. However, you've got to understand how to apply this and that you can apply this. So something on the shadow side that's very important is feeling your feelings, feeling them all the way through. That is how to actually transmute your feelings. You're taking it as one thing, focusing on it so that you can shift it into something else. Let's start with anger. I want you to just close your eyes and feel something angry. Think about something that makes you angry and truly bring it in. Begin to feel your body warm up. Begin to feel the tension coming in. Allow it to drum up. Feel it on purpose right now. And when you think you're feeling angry, feel more angry. Force it. I'm going to get a little bit more quiet and elongate these pauses so that you can just be in it. Feel the frustration. Feel the anger come up. Let it stir. Let it grow. Let the heat rise. Let the visuals come up that come with anger. Feel it more. Force it. Now, as you begin to feel it, the more and more and more, you may notice that it becomes tiresome to feel it so strongly. And so when you intentionally feel your feelings, you may already be shifting into a new feeling. You cannot maintain your grip on an anger or sadness feeling. You can also not maintain your grip on joy or euphoria. So if you feel your feeling all the way through, because this is just an exercise, you can go do this after the video every time. But if you're resisting it, you're resisting feeling that feeling, you're not actually applying it. This is the application process. It is your responsibility to feel your feelings all the way through. And if you do that, you will come out on the other end. So feeling your feelings is a tool that you can use any given moment to truly cycle through. If you resist, if you refuse to feel them, you will stay looping, as we talked about in the other pillars. So you have got to apply your emotions and let them move all the way through you. This is incredible because then when you're on the other side of it, you actually make it into a new level of awareness. And so you can say, I felt that, and when it went away, this feeling came up, and you can feel that feeling on purpose. And you will notice that you've gone further through your feelings than you've ever gone before. That is application. You will make your way into the higher vibrational feelings that have you present to the light, present to the love, and present to the leader that you are. Application is so important because when you apply the shadow on purpose and with purpose, you come in, you feel your feelings, you can then begin to know that you are powerful, like more powerful than just the emotion that's currently rising. When you move through those feelings, you again realize how powerful you are, and you can apply that on purpose. So beyond being able to actually feel your feelings is being able to sort them out with precision. Now, this is a mastery level of self-mastery, and you are your own expert. You know yourself, and the more that you do this, the more that you will continue to grow in this self-mastery. Sorting yourself out with precision is absolutely vital. Knowing, oh my gosh, my 10-year-old inner child is on the scene. Here we go, let's do this. Let's handle this. Being able to sort out when you're triggered, or who triggers you, or what triggers you is so, so important in your self-mastery and in your application of your leadership. We're still in this shadow aspect of the application pillar. And so I want you to really get in and hone in on how to apply those shadow aspects. When you know that you're triggered by something, when you know that life isn't working out, you can feel the lack of alignment. You are the one who can get yourself back into alignment quickly and with ease and grace and flow. This process doesn't have to be hard work every single time. In fact, the harder you're working may represent it's time to release that white knuckle grip that I have on the steering wheel of my life, and I need to just apply my light. So catch yourself when your shadow is taking over. Catch yourself when you're in your self-sabotaging ways and limiting beliefs. That is application. And then you can bring Nasser right on the scene. One more power play in applying your shadow on purpose and with purpose is speaking up. Now, this is really important because you can bring your power in. Speaking up, sometimes it starts to feel weird in the beginning of your process of your transformation. When you're beginning to lay your boundaries and your standards and your non-negotiables, that is so much self-development, and it's wonderful. From there, you do have to apply your power. Sometimes you have to apply your shadow and be a tough love kind of person and really just move through those spaces saying, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm a no to this and I'm okay with it. This is not my expectation. I have a higher standard and I'm not going to negotiate that. Those are so important, and we need to bring our shadow in sometimes to be our own hero, and it's okay. So that is why application of your shadow, it can serve you. It's going to help you in cutting cords with things that no longer serve you. So now we are going to shift into the light factor of the application pillar. And all this is choosing light fast and frequently. The time that you spend in your doubt, fear, insecurity, all those things in the shadow side can be less and less frequent and less in duration. That's what's so important. It's not that shadow won't show up. It's not that you're gonna not ever have a down day or be bummed about a failure or a disappointment. That will happen. It's about how quickly you can get back to love and light. And so it is so important that while you're growing, self-mastery is in the application. What you know doesn't exactly matter if you're not internalizing, owning, and applying it. That's exactly what this invitation is, to apply your love and light quickly and swiftly. Application of love and light is really about getting back to nothingness and then choosing to create from a heart-centered space. I love this work. This is the work that there is to do in self-mastery. So I want to talk about what the heck it means to get to nothingness. We as humans make meaning all the time. Life happens. It's happening constantly. You're always being dealt a new hand, and it's up to you how you deal with that hand. And so when something happens, what do you make it mean? Because life itself is empty and meaningless. It has no meaning. You can get to nothingness where you are just simply in the abyss. You can understand that everything is relative. That is a 5D conversation. If you're living in the 3D, there's that right, wrong, black, white, good, bad, all of it. Those are meanings that get applied to how life is going or what happens during this time. So when you move into the 4D, there's less meaning, right? It's more malleable. You can decide what things mean. Life doesn't seem as linear. You can make these quantum leaps into success or create what you want quickly. That's manifestation skills, being able to know what you want, ask for what you want, and then open up to receiving it. Being able to get to, none of this means anything. My perception is my perception. It isn't actually reality, because everything's happening in life, but we are the ones who take it in, throw it through all of our filters of the past, the filters of our insecurities, the filters of our successes, and we filter, then it hits us, and then we project it outward. And so if you can remove some of those filters in your perception, you can get to nothingness, and you're the one who can choose what things mean. Let's say in divorce, let's say in loss of a job, let's say in a really big disappointment or the death of a loved one or something that's really would shift somebody. You are the one who gets to say what it means for you. Death could simply just mean transitioning into infinite possibility or the universal intelligence. It could be that loving and light. It could be that simple. Or it can mean they're not here anymore and I never said what I needed to say and our last conversation wasn't good, or there's all these attachments. Those are your incompletions. On the light side, how quickly can you get back to love and light to be able to empower yourself, to shift from victim back to leader quickly, to shift from disempowered to empowered very quickly? That is the application. Getting to nothing, getting back to, I am the one who gets to say what this means and how this goes and how I'm going to take it forward. That is your power. That's the power of applying what you know now, applying what you feel, applying what your intuition says, and then creating from a heart-centered space, creating from a space of alignment and being in tune with what your soul's purpose is. For me personally, when I did get divorced and that hurt and I dealt with feeling unlovable and rejected, like I stayed in the darkness for a year, for a longer than a year. There are still days where the darkness creeps up and I'm like, oh man, what did I do wrong? How did that go wrong? What does it mean about me? And that's the thing to understand, is you're assigning the meaning. If you can get back to love and light, you can shift that breakdown. I continue to shift, oh, I'm divorced, this is whoa, sadness, to, oh my gosh, I have a new chance at love and life. I am being called. I had been redirected to get more clear on my soul's purpose and what I'm here to do. And it brings me such joy to live in that space of light and know that I'm being called, and that relationship wasn't the last one I'd have. That relationship wasn't where I was going to stop in life, and that it was time to continue to grow in a new place, in a new space, and in a new level of living. And so you are always being called forward. So if you see things that happen in the darkness or they trigger your darkness, how quickly can you bounce back from that? Your ability to realize that something happened to redirect you, and then listen to your intuition, honor what you hear, and follow through on what you're being told. That is your ability to apply all of this new awareness and what you can acknowledge, and being able to use all of these different pillars to actually apply them to your life and begin to create what you want. And again, live into this full soul purpose that you're here to do. So that's exactly what the application pillar is all about. Applying what you know, applying what you're learning to be able to ascend into your higher calling.